So, we're going to be taking a look at my favorite Elden Ring build. I did not really ever think I was going to do a video like this. Usually I do build videos on like Guild Wars 2 and all that. But I've been playing so much Elden Ring. I've neglected Guild Wars because of the fact that I've been playing so much Elden Ring and having a blast with it. And yeah, this is essentially what I consider to be an easy mode build. I could basically stomp through the majority of the game with this. Keep in mind though, I'm level 263 right now, and growing. I'm gonna keep going, and you can actually see my stats right here. They're pretty good for the most part. I just need to get my dexterity up really badly, because of the fact that I can't use a sacred blade right now. I took off Radagon's Soresail, because it's not worth the trade-off at 60 vigor. Like if I put it on right now, you can actually see. Look at the health up there. Look how little that gives you, and increases your damage taken. So overall, I think it increases like it by 10%. So for me personally, it's not really worth using that. So I just wanted to go and point that out. But anyway, let's actually get into the build now. So for weapons, I pretty much always have the Azur's Glintstone Staff on at plus 10. Love this thing. It's really, really good. It scales well with intellect. Of course, it's a fucking staff. Of course, I was going to do that. So the main effect here is that it reduces casting time of all sorceries, but it'll consume additional FP. I'm actually wanting to get the Lucid Staff up because that'll enhance your power. I think it increases the damage by like 12% or something like that. So yeah, I really want to get that, but I guess for right now Azure would be good. I also heard this one was good too, Gary Regal. Those who have the oh my god, 60 intelligence. Fuck me. Okay, I might I might want to give that one a shot. God damn. Anyway, yeah. So Azur's Glintstone Staff, really really good. It'll make the cast time a bit better on a lot of the spells, which is one of the biggest pains in the ass about these fucking things. Those spells is that they are very very long to cast. It's pretty crazy. So usually what I'll do, well, not usually, always, I'll put on a melee weapon on my secondary here. Not only is it nice to have a backup in case if I run out of mana and potions and all that, but I actually just like using melee most of the time. Unless if I get to like an area where I'm like, oh, this boss sucks, I'm just gonna range it, fuck it. I'll just have my mimic distract them and just fucking range that shit. I will be melee most of the time, just because I actually prefer playing melee. It's a little harder, and it's not as like cheesy as magic. And at this point in time, I used to just play magic only, but I'm on Journey 3 at this point. I want to mix things up a little bit, so I've been using melee a lot. I like this one because it's skills of intellect, which is very very nice, or intelligence, intelligence. I don't know. I'm just gonna call it intellect. So yeah, that's very, very nice. It has a really good one. I have it at plus 10 here. It's B scaling. It's not like, A or S, but it still is pretty good. I actually really like the weapon art on here, too. It'll, you sheathe the blade, and you hold it at your hip in a composed stance, and then, it's fucking cool. So, yeah, it's pretty badass. Oh my god, Rivers of Blood. I heard this thing's cool, too. Corpse Piler? What the fuck? Dude, that's crazy. I need to give that a shot sometime. But 20 arcane, man. Yeah, fuck that. So, for other melee weapons I like using, there is the Sacred Relic Sword. I only really use this thing nowadays for farming runes, which I actually do over at the Palace Approach Ledge Red. I'm sure many of you guys have heard about this rune farm at this point. There's like a chicken that's over here, like a bird or whatever, and I usually snipe him with my bow, and then I run up and I just take care of all the ads in this area. Or is it this area? I think it's this area, isn't it? I don't know. With all those enemies with the Sacred Relic Blade, with the Wave of Gold attack, which is really, really badass. So you basically get the Sacred Relic one from beating the final boss. So whenever you kill the final boss, I'm not going to say its name. Elden Beast! Fuck it! Elden Beast! Okay, once you kill him, make sure to, get this from the Remembrance. America's Hammer is really cool too, but this one's definitely cooler in my opinion. Darkmoon Greatsword, love this thing. It skills of intellect, and it is very, very nice. It causes frost buildup by default. And I forgot to mention, the Moon Veil is really good because it also causes blood loss buildup, which is like a super good condition right now. It's fantastic. I don't know what the proper name for it is. I just call it condition because I don't fucking know. But yeah, Darkmoon Greatsword is fantastic. It does frost buildup and has a really cool, Asher War on it. You can go and read that, and you just kind of raise it in the sky. It's like, oh, I'm bathing in the lights of the dark moon, and then it'll increase your, your damage, and it'll, you're able to launch these magic projectiles with the heavy attack. Yeah, it's pretty fucking badass. I really, really like it. In terms of other weapons I use, there really isn't anything else I use just because of the fact that it takes so long to fucking upgrade these things. I have to like look up where to get the certain somber smithing stones and stuff on the wiki, and it's really fucking annoying. I don't like having to do that, but it is what it is, I guess, and that's how I usually find it. But yeah, there's that. I pretty much always have a shield on my left hand nowadays. That I got the fingerprint stone shield. This thing is a fucking monster. So by default, I think it has 80 guard boost. Which, if you don't know what guard boost is, so whenever you're blocking an attack with your great shield or shield, it doesn't have to be great shield. All right, I'm not shieldist. You have your shield up, and you know the douchebag that's trying to kill you hits it, and it'll consume a certain amount of stamina, right? So the higher number on guard boost, the less stamina it will consume. So you really want to try and get that as high as you possibly can if you're really trying to just easy mode everything. You can also see its damage negation is fucking fantastic for magic too. It's really good. It'll negate the vast majority of damage. I was just trying this out on Estelle earlier because I actually went to him earlier for one of the summons that ended up being a complete waste of time. Estelle over here. I was using... what the fuck was I talking about? Oh, yeah, I was using the shield. And you know how he launches like the void projectile at you or whatever? And it does a lot of damage. Yeah, I just block this and it barely does anything. I don't have to roll through it anymore. I should have probably tested out against Radahn's bow attack. That would have been kind of cool. That like that void attack he does or whatever. But yeah, this thing's a fucking monster. Basically, once you get up to plus 25, the guard boost will be at 90. So what makes that so good is the fact you can combine it with the Great Shield Talisman. And at that point, once you do that, it'll consume no stamina. So gone are the days, are you worried about not attacking as much as possible in order to conserve stamina for, you know, blocking attacks. This is just fucking awesome. I love this shield. I will admit though, it looks fucking stupid. It looks incredibly stupid. Just this big fucking chunk of stone or something. I don't know. I mean, obviously it's in the name Fingerprint Stone Shield, but I don't know, man. It looks fucking stupid, but it is a beast of a shield. God, I wish there was transmog in this game. But, you know, that would be, you know, really, really cool if they had that. But, you know, fuck it. Yeah, so, you know, 48 strength and 29 weight. So some of you guys may look at this and be like, yeah, fuck that. The other one I was using was the Dragon Claw Shield, which has a 61 guard boost. But, you know, obviously this is much, much better. But I think this fully upgraded can get around 70, which is pretty good. We have the Ant Skull Plate with 63, Erdtree Great Shield with 60, and then you have some other ones too. Gilded Great Shield is good. I have it at 71. So this is actually the one I was using instead of the Dragon Claw one. My bad. I was using Gilded Great Shield before I got the Fingerprint Stone Shield. But yeah, this thing's definitely the best shield in the game. Just keep in mind the weight on it is complete and utterly fucked. 29 weight. You're really going to have to work around a lot of things in order to be able to get this equipped. But armor-wise, I kind of use whatever. I just got this Knight's Cavalry set yesterday. It's probably my favorite looking armor set. That and the Blade or Blade or whatever the fuck his name is. That armor set looks really, really cool. But yeah, I really like this one. It has basically on par resistance or damage negation with the Blade set. It's like almost on par. It's a little worse in some areas, but yeah, for the Talismans, I have the Great Jars Arsenal. Love this thing. Actually, no, I don't love this thing. It's kind of a piece of shit because you can get this one, the Arsenal Charm +1, a lot easier. And basically, the Great Jars Arsenal will increase it only by 2 weight over this one. It's fucking useless, but I have it, so I might as well equip it. So yeah, I very much like this one. It'll increase it by about 12 weight there, which is very, very good. And yeah, it's a fucking phenomenal talisman. I really like this thing. So as I mentioned earlier, I think I mentioned this earlier, I'm not running Radagon Sword Seal anymore because of the fact that I get literally 0 to no effect on my vigor with Radagon Sword Seal. So it's basically just fucking myself over by taking more damage. But if you're at a lower vigor to the point where it does make a big difference, Radagon Sword Seal is fantastic. But for me right now, because of the fact that I am so high level, like, it doesn't really matter. I'll equip it because I don't have enough dexterity for the Sacred Relic Sword. Like, whenever I'm doing farming, it doesn't really matter because I'm not getting hit. So, yeah. But yeah, just for these two slots, I have Graven Mass and Graven School Talisman. Now, according to the wiki, these two stack, and I believe they do. So this will give you a 12% increase of damage. This one, Graven Mass being 8%, and then your School being 4%. So that's 12% total for you people that suck ass in math out there. Yeah, it'll really increase the damage of your sorceries by quite a lot. And then I have the Great Shield Talisman for basically consuming as little stamina as I possibly can with the shield. Um, yeah, I really, really like it. The shield is fucking awesome in this game, dude. It's so good. I heard it was kind of shitty in some of the Dark Souls games, but like, dude, the shield, if you get a good shield in this game like this one, not like the pieces of shit, like rickety shield, and I mean, look at that piece of shit. Look at the damage negation on there, man. These little pieces of shit, the one you start off with on the astrology, and I think it's this one, right? Like, those things are fucking terrible, but once you get like a good shield, man, the game becomes a lot easier. I just want to mention, by default, this actually does come with an Ash of War on it. I kind of forget which one it was. I think it was just like parry or something like that. But personally, I hate that shit. I don't like having a two-handed weapon and then use the Ash of War on it. So I like just being able to do it with it equipped. That way I don't have to like two-hand it first or whatever. So yeah, that's just like a personal preference of mine. So basically how you do that is you have to get the Ash of War no skill, which is over here at the War Master's Shack. I believe this guy can actually move if you're at a certain point, like a certain quest. Like he can move to the Volcano Manor, which is up here. That's the only map I don't have in the game. But yeah, that's just something to mention there and how I got, no skill there. But basically, the point in the video now where I'm like really happy about is they nerfed the Mimic tier, right? And so the reason why I'm still using this over Black Knife Tish, right? Tish is, or whatever the hell her name is, really good summon. It's absolutely phenomenal. But I do personally believe, given the right setup, the Mimic tier is still the best summon. God, what the fuck was that? The best summon in the entire game. Not only does it copy all of your stats, so if you're really high level like I am with a really, really good stats, it'll copy your stats too. I think it's actually like 200% of your stats or something like that at like plus 10. Yeah, it's really good. But one of the biggest downsides about it before is that it didn't heal itself. Well, not before, after the nerf, right? It used to consume a flask of, healing flask, and it'll heal itself only one time. It only have like one flask. I have good news for you. So, if you put on the raw meat dumpling in your inventory, you don't even have to like use it. Just put it in your slots right here. It'll use it. I was fighting a dragon up here earlier in Atlas Plateau. It was like around like here-ish or over here. Yeah, it was like right there. I felt that was fall damage. Okay, I didn't die to the dragon. But he was fighting him, right? I just was like letting my mimic do his thing. He was at like half health. He consumed one of these. It restored him all the way almost to full. And not only does he do it one time, I've seen him do it multiple fucking times. It is insane, dude. I really hope they don't nerf that. It is pretty much our last hope at this point for the Mimic being able to, heal itself. But yeah, if you're at like a high level like I am, the Mimic is probably going to be the best option you could have. Just because of the fact that I do have so much fucking health, and the Mimic will have just a shitload of health and can heal itself now. Like, dude, fuck yes. Now, you can only hold up to 3 of these things, right? But the thing is with it is I think I'm not sure if the Mimic will use it only 3 times or if it could just infinitely use it. I would predict that it can only use it 3 times. I'm going to have to do further testing. If I find out something, I'll leave it in the comments section. Or I might pin a comment or something if someone else notices it. But yeah, I found this out on Reddit. Raw meat dumpling. I did also hear some stuff about healing spells, but that requires, I believe, a fingerprint seal, and I didn't really want to have to do that or finger seal. So yeah, I just wanted to do the raw meat dumplings. These things are really, really solid for that. I will mention, though, it does cause poison buildup, which I'm not really planning on wasting them one of them right now to show you how much buildup it is. But it does do that to your Mimic, so if your Mimic is getting ass raped with poison, that might not be a good idea. But yeah, I think the final thing to mention is just sort of what I used on the Wondrous Physic, I guess. It's pretty much your basic bitch, thing for Wondrous Physics. It's just Intelligence Knot and Cerulean Hidden Tier. These will basically make your damage insane on your spells as well as eliminate all your FP consumption. I only ever really use that if I'm using my staff on a boss. Otherwise, I don't ever really bother using it. I already have plenty of healing and mana pots to use, so yeah, it's really fucking unnecessary for me personally. But yeah, in terms of the allocation, I typically run 8 health and then 6 mana. I don't ever find myself really needing above 8 with this build, or really anywhere even close to 8. In all honesty, you can probably put almost all of them into mana and be fine if you're a good enough player. But in terms of the spells that I like using, Rock Sling is my go-to. This thing is a phenomenal skill. If you do have the equipment load for it, you can actually put the Meteorite Staff on your left hand and swap to it, and it'll count for your right hand for the Gravity skill or Gravity Sorcery bonus, which is very cool. But yeah, Rock Sling's great. Terra Magica is great if I'm really finding myself kind of just standing in a place and I could really just go and dump a shitload of damage into a boss is very nice. Meteorite of Estelle is really good too. I actually just got the spell. My friend was telling me about it, and he's basically having like an orgasm over it. So you kind of just do this thing, you keep holding it, and it'll launch a ton of meteors at your target, um, which is really good. I've seen people like cheese it with like the Elden Beast. They use this, which is very cool. Adua's Moonblade is fucking awesome for melee attacks. I use this on the Knights Cavalry because you had to kill 2 Knights Cavalry for this armor set, so I used this on it. It was really good. But yeah, I will mention though the Mimic tier doesn't swap weapons, so I pretty much always have the weapon out that I want it to use, which most of the time is the Moon Veil because it'll cause blood loss buildup, which just means basically more damage for the Mimic. Sometimes I'll put it on Magic. It really just depends on the situation. But yeah, that's pretty much going to cover it. There's really nothing else to talk about with the build now. I'm very happy with this. This is what I'm going to be running for a while. It's just an absolutely great build. It's very versatile. It can handle pretty much anything in the entire game that'll throw at you. But just keep in mind, I have just shitloads of stats right now. Like I'm very well geared. I have tons of stats. And I'm gonna be getting my level up even more. I think at this point it costs like 500,000 runes for me to level up. I'm pretty sure. No, 608,000. So yeah, it's pretty fucked. But anyway, that's gonna cover the build and peace.